And that was a shoot.
Yeah, that's full-blown shooting.
Since you want to shoot, cowboy!
And now, the Real Shoot Wrestling Podcast.
Real Shoot Wrestling episode number 10.
10.
Numero Diaz.
X.
X. We are the X division.
Yes.
It's just me and Tim tonight. I don't know if it was the Beetle promo for Extreme Rules, but I think we were just kind of wanting each other's vibes together tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Wanted to get it back to just having to communicate one person to another instead of...
Don't worry, we will have an episode in the future where it features more people. We are trying to organize that in a better fashion so it's not such a cluster.
Yeah, because I know that you guys all have a lot of opinions and you're going to want to be heard. But
we just want to do it right.
Everybody can't talk at the same time, so we're trying to get that organized. And who's to say we won't have a person here and there, until that happens. But yeah, we're definitely trying to get something to where there can be a large group of us and we do the show. But until then, you just got me and Gabe.
And Extreme Rules Sunday.
I was surprised how good the actual pay-per-view turned out to be. One thing I noticed about the pay-per-view was it me, or did you know about every single match this time?
Yeah, they have booked every match, like everything is meant something.
There's a story for everything, so I noticed that. It may have been the last pay-per-view as well. It was good, but I don't remember going into the pay-per-view knowing about every single match. There was never like, oh, hey, these guys are fighting. There was a story for everything, which was pretty enjoyable.
I don't normally like these like gimmick pay-per-views like Extreme Rules, Hell in a Cell, TLC, but there was a lot of feuds that had payoffs, so I think that this kind of worked out.
Also, everything that they did, like the gimmick that they used it actually all made sense this time.
Yeah.
Like, the cage wasn't like a cage match where it's like, okay, we're going to use it to hurt each other. It was more like we're going to use the weapons to hurt each other.
Yeah.
But the cage is just to keep us in here.
And I heard so many, and we're talking about the Ambrose Asylum match, I heard so many people complaining about how that match dragged. And I was like, this is like an old school, what a cage match should be.
Exactly. Like, it was, like, to the point to where it may have felt like it was like, all right.
It probably felt like that after the Fatal 4-Way a little bit, but...
it made that much more sense whenever he finally went through those tacks, though.
Right.
Which is absolutely... I put up a question on the page the other day that said, what was more of a surprise, Seth Rollins coming back or they use thumbtacks? Because them using thumbtacks like that was nuts. But honestly, I think that match was to make up for how lame the Brock match was at Mania. And plus, I think Jericho just wants to go all out.
I think
he was the one that would know how to do it right.
I think Jericho is looking at this part of his career as a way to put an exclamation point, the way that Shawn did when he came back for his second run. Like, this is going to solidify him as one of the best ever. Yeah,
and if you
he doesn't have to take that bump. He doesn't.
Never. There's not one time in that match when the thumbtacks came out I thought he was actually going to end up being the one to take it. Honestly, I figured it was going to be something to where Dean brought it out, and then Dean's going to end up being the one to take it. But the fact that Jericho took it, you could tell he doesn't take him a lot either, because whenever you're in a match like that, you're supposed to bring your arms up.
Yeah,
you're supposed to take it solid back.
Hard.
And he went ahead and put his arms down like a dummy. And he got a lot in the elbow, which did not look comfortable. But at the same time, honestly, that one that was in Dean's hand probably hurt worse than all the ones that were in Jericho's back, because it happened so fast, and it was a bunch of them in there to where it's like it numbs it. You know, that one was probably like, oh. So, you know, it became a really good match, and yeah, it may have felt like it lagged, but it kind of had to. So then when he went through the tacks, like I said, it made that much more sense, and it got that much bigger of a pop.
Yeah, and that's part of ring psychology too. I mean, you have to build.
But
to
psychology, nobody knows that anymore. I try to explain it to people, and they're like, "What? What do you mean?" Like, it's so hard to explain if you're not in a ring. Having somebody explain it to you.
What I don't get is people always complain about how great wrestling used to be, but that's exactly how it used to be.
Exactly. It all made sense. Riding it out. I mean, there used to be times when you didn't touch the ropes and you didn't come off the top rope.
Yeah.
And it was still an awesome match.
Illegal.
Yeah, coming off the top was illegal.
Yeah.
In WCW for a while.
All right, so also was the main event was AJ Styles and Roman Reigns, which I think people crapped on because Reigns won, but it was a good match. It really was.
It was a good match, and to say that Roman buried him, buried AJ, and anybody, the fact that anybody is saying that somebody got buried in that is absolutely insane. Like, Roman literally took everything from AJ, and AJ literally took everything from Roman, and it just came down to a spear out of mid-air to finish it. It wasn't just the spear, but that spear finished it off. It was just like the old RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big deal, so of course that's going to finish it off. But people act like he didn't take two bumps through tables.
Yeah.
They act like he didn't take those. He just getting swung into the apron and to the side of the barrier,
which looked terrible.
He took a Superman punch off the rope and then took a horrible bump to the apron to the floor. Like, he got a pounding.
Yeah.
Did Roman as well? Yeah, but they want Roman to be champion. So of course they're going to make him look that much bigger. Not a whole lot. To me, he didn't look a whole lot bigger.
No.
But at the same time, they wanted him to win, so of course he's going to look that much bigger, but the only thing that he looked bigger on was the pinfall.
Right. And not only did that match have payoff, but as soon as that match was over, there's two feuds that fork off from that. The Rollins and Reigns one, and also the Styles versus the Club.
I really don't know if that's going to go into a story, to the extent of it being the main story in that part. Like, I feel like since he lost the Money in the Bank match and Miz lost the Money in the Bank match, I feel like AJ's going into that IC picture.
Even though they've already kind of feuded before?
Yes, but see, that's where the Club gets involved.
Okay. So you think the Miz will be the head of the Club?
No, I don't think
that. The internet will explode?
No, but I think that the Club will mess with him being able to achieve other things. I don't think it'll go straight into a battle between the two of them. I think the Club still has to go out of their way to ruin something for him.
Do you agree with how they brought Rollins back, kind of already making him a heel?
I mean, I saw it going in because, like, it's just they have strong heels, but at the same time, you got Cena coming back next week. Like, what do you expect? Like, for Cena's sake, for Rollins' sake, he has to be.
Well, the thing that I liked about the AJ Styles feud was they kind of just said pick who you want to win, and they didn't really say one was face or one was the heel. And now they're going back to this pushing Reigns down as a face.
But see, why do you think that? And just because Rollins came out and said he doesn't care what the fans think, didn't Stone Cold do that as well? But people didn't care; they still just cheered. It's a point to where, and this is where the whole WWE fan doesn't realize it compared to the world of pro wrestling fan doesn't realize it. But it doesn't always have to be a good guy versus bad guy. It can be two bad guys want the damn title. Like, it's not that hard to understand that every single person in that place wants the world title. So it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter if it's a good guy or a bad guy. And Seth never lost it. So why would Seth not want to
Yeah.
go straight for the champion, no matter who it is.
Yeah, I thought they were going to draw that out till SummerSlam, but I mean that's a money match because I mean that was going to be their Mania main event, I think.
I mean, there's so much going on when it comes to Mania time. Who knows what?
Because I mean Rollins was the champ, so
Yeah, but who knows? It may have been Rollins and Triple H.
yeah, that's true. That's true. You never know. What did you think of the Fatal 4-Way?
That one, everybody went nuts over, but I think it was just too much.
I think there was a few too many near falls near the end.
Yeah, like towards the end, it was kind of like they did all that.
It was like one of those
They
ECW matches that just no matter what they did, they kicked out.
Yeah, I like I said, it's like they killed every move possible to where the rest of the night people wouldn't.
And that's why people thought the Asylum match drug was because of that.
Yeah, I mean possibly, but it's just towards the end it was like, okay, everybody's hit, everybody's finished, or blah 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 blah, and I like. But the thing is I liked the finish. A lot of people didn't. I liked the finish. They let Sammy flip out.
Yeah.
And became I need to beat up Owens more than I need to win this match. And Miz snuck in and won the match. It was filmed badly.
Terribly.
That's a grudge that I know you have. But it was a good ending.
Yeah, it was.
Because
I just wish I could have saw it.
in that situation, what else? Well, I mean, it was only Miz crawling like an ant across the ring. But, I mean, you saw everything that happened. Sammy kicked his face off, and then Miz climbed across, Yeah. So...
I think they worked their ass off, and...
They did, but it was more than was needed.
Yeah.
It was way more than was needed, and I can't stand it when people go, that was match of the year. That was match of the year. It seems like every single time they say that somebody had a match of the year every pay-per-view anymore. I mean, is that good? Yeah, that's good.
Really
but come on, you guys need to understand, first of all, some of these matches aren't even match of the year in WWE, let alone match of the year in general.
Definitely.
So it's like, just appreciate matches and be cool with it.
What I didn't understand was people were so upset that The Miz won, but...
Why?
But
I don't understand that. Why not make... I mean, those other guys are superstars, and everybody knows it. Miz gets so much crap. Why is it such a big deal that Miz, in a heel way, won the match?
Yeah. And people are always wanting good heels, and The Miz is a perfect
good heel, but yet they don't like him.
And also I said, they need guys to fill the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
And what do you know? The other three guys are already in the match.
Yes.
I mean, and those are all guys that the internet loves.
Mm-hmm.
So
that match in general, let's think about it. Dean, Jericho, Kevin Owens, Sammy, and who was the fifth?
It's the same
Cesaro.
Cesaro, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at those five.
There's two more to be named.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's early, but who do you think will end up winning Money in the Bank this year? This isn't the official. This is early hunch. I think
it's KO.
I think they like Owens right now.
I really want to see
like
Jericho. I really want to see Jericho.
I do too. I really think that they might.
This is something they've never done yet, and I think it would be cool to do. Is why can't Jericho win Money in the Bank and then leave?
And just show up randomly, like
with
6 months.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's supposed to be done after Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think about it. Like everybody, I mean, obviously everybody's gonna go, boo! He should be there, blah blah blah. But like imagine it. No one's ever done it. He's the guy that created it.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, if he wants to come back, I don't see why you couldn't have him win it. And then him just disappear.
It's always like
just to piss off the crowd.
As soon as you win the briefcase, you're like destined to lose every match until you win the title.
Oh my God, yeah. So instead of doing that and making him look like a poop bag, because that's what they do with every single person, especially the one they did it with worst was Jack Swagger, and then.
Well, yeah.
And then Jack Swagger won it at Mania and then cashed it in on Monday against Jericho and won the belt.
Yeah. There's been a few other ones. Ziggler was the same way. Is that who you're thinking of?
No, I'm thinking of Jack Swagger.
Okay.
I just explained the whole story.
Because, I mean, that's the same thing that just happened to Ziggler.
Well, no, I don't think that happened with him when he was with Big E and was it AJ or Vicky that he was with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember him really going on a losing streak.
I just don't ever hear it.
I just don't remember that being that big of a deal. But they also did it with Sheamus last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you think they're going with Sheamus?
They're gonna do, and I actually like it. They're gonna do that. He's sick of hearing about the new era.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna beat people up. But at the same time, who knows how long this is gonna last? Because if you let that last, when that's his way of thinking, he's probably going to destroy a lot of up and comers.
Yeah.
But if they only plan on this lasting a month, then mouth fart. By the way, I don't know why I did that.
I was so mad when Apollo Crews came out and was not even.
Yeah, how the hell are you going to get beat up by Sheamus and then just come out there popping and jumping around and hip hopping around? Come on.
I don't understand it. That's just part of the creative team that someone has to get in his ear and say,
that makes
limp a little bit.
That makes zero sense. Like, come on.
Did you hear that there might be a women's Money in the Bank?
I've heard speculations. I've heard thinking about it, but from what I understand is they don't feel like there's enough to really do it.
I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea at all. I don't. I mean, I do and I don't. Like.
Not yet.
Go ahead, put them in there.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to prove my point as to still, no one cares about women's wrestling about as much as the WWE fans say that they don't care about the internet darlings.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, they don't get me wrong. I enjoy it, and there's really good matches that they put on.
It is getting more popular,
it is, but people still don't care to see it.
No. People still say, "Oh, bathroom break."
Yeah, people say bathroom break. Like, come on, you got. But see, people. What I don't understand is, last night was kind of hard to watch, but at the same time, it did exactly what needed to happen.
Charlotte promo.
Oh my gosh,
I thought that was great.
It went a little long because I always feel weird watching an older man cry like that. Because I mean, honestly, like, is it not weird when you watch someone like your grandpa cry?
Ric Flair cries all the time, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, like this, it wasn't like I'm telling a story, I'm crying. This is like.
But that's what needed to happen.
She's kind of shooting right now and saying, "Hey, guess what? You were never there," kind of thing. So, like, I have a feeling like some of those emotions, like I really wasn't, kind of thing, came out of Flair.
She was crying too.
Came out of Flair, yeah, and it was that whole concept of like, all right, here we go. Because if you think that was all played out, it wasn't. That was probably, a good bit of truth there. To watch him cry was kind of uncomfortable. That's the only thing to me. But for the most part, it did exactly what it needed to do, and it got over because they went from whatting to actually stopping and listening. Now, am I saying it was a good segment? No, but it did what it needed to do.
I think it was a great segment.
See, I don't like segments where I feel weird.
Well,
like when I was in Pittsburgh and saw that segment where the League of Nations, which not even together anymore, just beat the crap out of New Day for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it got awkward. Like, it felt weird. And then I went back and watched it on TV. Did the same thing to me. Like, it was just
the crowd.
Yeah, you can kill a crowd trying to make yourself look that heelish or that, and that to me also makes it feel uncomfortable, like you're trying too hard.
Mm-hmm. I think what I liked about it is it really showed how Charlotte is not afraid of the crowd anymore. She was so, like, she was kind of hesitant with the crowd before, and her confidence is. I mean, when the what started, I mean, she responded to it, went off ad-libbed.
Yeah,
and
like
that wouldn't have happened a couple months ago.
Yeah, and which is good to see.
Yeah,
because if you're gonna want your division to be that big, it's gonna take personalities like that to do it. And I feel like no matter what people think, having the Flair name in the division is going to help.
Sure, yeah.
you know.
But
so,
you think Rusev winning the U.S. title?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to murder Kalisto.
Kalisto did a really good job of selling. I mean, people thought his neck was broken.
When he did that springboard corkscrew,
yeah,
and Rusev swatted him out of the air like a fly, I was like, all right, first of all, this match is done. Like like if you need to use the bathroom, this is the time to do it. Because it's going to be over, pretty quick, and you're just going to move on. He was over huge, and then, like the ending when it was like, get back, get back, get back. He didn't get back, and then boom, he just put it on him and he tapped. I love the ending of that match.
Do you still don't think John Cena's going to take the title from him?
I just. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Sure, it does.
Like, why would you make his return that big just to put him back in the same place?
Because they want ratings. That's why they're hyping this appearance for Memorial Day up so
Well,
much.
yeah, of course you would hype his return, but it makes no sense to me to put him back in that mid card.
I agree, but I just think that that's what's going to happen.
I don't.
What do you think they'll do?
I don't know. I have no idea. That one I'm still up in the air with. That and the club story with AJ, I'm still like, I don't know where they're going. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
I still think they're going to interject Finn Balor in some sooner or later, but I don't know when.
Who knows?
So we have to talk about Cody Rhodes. I mean, that's one of the biggest stories of the weekend. He had this long post on Twitter, not long after he teased that he was leaving the WWE, and it was kind of came out of nowhere because Cody Rhodes I thought was someone that was going to be there for the rest of his life, and like a lifer.
You would think that
like Goldust. I mean, like he's stuck around all these years. He's been in and out, but I mean, he's been there for 20 years.
But at the same time, like, it's something to where Cody knows he's good.
He's only 30,
everybody
right?
knows he's good. Yeah, he's only 30. Everybody knows he's good. Some people don't see him as top-notch material, but at the same time, he could be if given that chance. It's like you said before. Everybody can't be top-notch. And especially when you're in a small type of thing in like the WWE, because is the WWE small? No, but is it small compared to the pro wrestling world? Yeah,
right.
It's a huge part of it, but it's still small compared to indies, super indies, the pros in Japan, the pros in Germany, the pros in the UK. Like,
yeah,
so. Like, I think Cody is somebody that could be amazing in a Ring of Honor, or even it's like I would hate to throw somebody like him in a TNA situation.
Sure, yeah,
only because of money and storyline wise. But at the same time, like, he's somebody that if things change there, he could pop that area.
Yeah,
and people would be like, "Well, we're checking this out."
Yeah,
like, him, like, right now, Sandow, there's Swagger, there's a bunch of people that got released that could...
Swagger didn't get released yet.
I thought Swagger got released.
Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet.
Barrett.
Yeah.
Even. And
Adam Rose.
Adam Rose, bring in the Leo Kruger type attitude towards somewhere else. And I think it would help. Anywhere they go, it's going to help big time.
But how bad? I mean, honestly, how bad do you think it is creatively there now that someone like Cody Rhodes left?
I don't think that so much it's bad. I just think it's something.
But we just talked about like what's his name coming out without limping around, Apollo Crews.
But at the same time, that might be something to where. How is it bad writing if he just?
I think that's something you have to stress.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to tell somebody that. He just didn't do it.
Okay. Well, I think...
do you think, like, honestly, like, at that level, do you think somebody's Trip at the door has to go, hey man, I'd act like you got beat up by Sheamus. I feel like you shouldn't have to say that. And because that should be common sense.
Yeah, but you know how Vince likes not to have these guys show any weakness. Like they're big guys.
Yeah, but I mean, that's absolutely horrendous to.
Oh, I know.
to go, hey, don't play off that whole beating you got by Sheamus in the back only 10 minutes ago.
That's why, and that's kind of like why people were upset about Roman Reigns having 20 chair shots and then one spear and it's over.
Yeah, but I mean, those out of nowhere type finishes to me are kind of like roll ups because they catch you off guard. You're not expecting them, and
that's why they're finishers.
Those certain ones, because I mean, some finishers don't surprise you at all.
Yeah.
Like before, Jake Roberts used to DDT you, he would drag you across the ring, fling his arm around in a circle, and then drop you.
Or the Styles Clash.
Yeah, But, and plus, why so many people think it hurts so bad for a guy with a chest protector on when he takes Styles Clashes, I do not know. Yeah,
good point. This is an interesting thing that I think this will build the indies. Like people will be more interested in it now that they know that there'll be a Cody Rhodes and a Ryback possibly and a Wade Barrett that might be in Ring of Honor, New Japan. It might give them another reason to check that out. I think it'll build wrestling as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like first of all, CM Punk probably had some help in the fact that, people went and watched ROH because of that whole situation.
Sure.
And then you had a couple people here and there that was let go, so it helped spread the word. And then you have people coming in that help spread the word.
Brock Lesnar.
I mean, Brock Lesnar helped with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Nakamura coming in, got that word out there, and there's been people coming in recently that helps spread the word and get those places known. And now, with those people being let go, going to those places, it could very well help the whole picture in general. But that's to say that all those people that are WWE fans care enough to go follow him.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it should be interesting to watch. There's going to be a couple more releases, I think, at the end of the month.
Really?
That's what I've heard, so we'll see.
And we think Titus O'Neil's gone?
Now that Apollo Crews is probably.
You think?
They have their black guy up.
But they're doing that with Darren Young.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, though. He's not even wrestling.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Shane podcast?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I
was underwhelmed by it. The only thing that I took away from it was the Triple H question, where he was just not wanting to answer it.
Oh, of course he doesn't want to answer that question. But I think it would have been cooler if it was Stone Cold or Jericho.
Or Jericho.
I think with Foley it kind of.
It was not an easy situation for him. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, it was more of a you could tell not that he felt uncomfortable. It was just being that type of interviewer type situation, being the interviewer instead of the interviewee was kind of weird for him.
Yeah, and that's his first time he's ever done that. So that's I just.
But a lot of people liked it because they felt like how straight up he was, but at the same time, for the most part, those questions were kind of easy, and
half the interview was so. Tell me about your swimming pool.
Yeah, tell me about the time you did this. Tell me about the time you did that.
I want to hear about.
I wanted to make sure that I was the first person you saw when you came through those. I swear to God, if I heard him say that one more time in that interview, I just wanted to make sure myself was the first person you saw when you walked through that curtain after you took that table.
He's probably got brain loss. So.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so
and hold on, the fact that they acted like Shane's fall and Mick's fall was the same is absolutely insane. Like, Shane stood there, thought about it, jumped. There was a damn parachute under the table.
Yeah.
Mick went through a table that had nothing.
Yeah.
And ran to do it.
Even Mick was like, "Yeah, it was you even jumped off a taller cell, trying to."
Yeah, but and then you know, Shane comes back with, "Yeah, okay." When you're up that high, it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, I'm not saying that I would do it. I mean, I probably would if I had a parachute underneath me like that. But at the same time, like, I still respect Shane for taking that fall, and he's done other stuff that is absolutely insane, like through the glass at King of the Ring with Angle. They did it twice because the first time it didn't even break.
Wanted to mention Kane. Kane might be done. He's hinted at this political run for a few years.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's dude's smart as can be.
Oh yeah.
I think if that's what he wants to do, he needs to just do it.
Not to get too political, but I hope he doesn't run as a party. I want him to do his own libertarian thing. I know that makes no sense to anybody out there, but
I mean, me personally, it's not like we're even going to be able to vote on it.
No, it's a local Tennessee.
So
thing,
it's whatever. But at the same time, I mean, this is the same, and this is what I'm saying. There's no reason for him to come back because the story that he would be involved in wouldn't be any good.
No.
For as good as it could be for his situation to send him off.
Unless you bring him back to put Rollins and have Rollins retire him to put more heat on Rollins, that would be the only thing that makes sense to me.
I mean, I would even be fine with him coming back to defend, some type of like,
or even have the Whites do it.
That's what I'm saying. Have Bray do it,
okay.
And he comes back as just a monster, but don't do. The things that, and this is what hurt Linda when she ran in Connecticut about things, is you got to remember this was also the guy that got in a casket and was acting like he was, doing things.
No, that was Triple H with a mask on.
Huh?
You talking about Katie Vick?
Triple H, whatever. But Kane did things that just on TV that people will bring up.
But if you're a libertarian, you don't care.
But see, that's what people don't understand.
Like, everybody listening to this podcast is now Googling libertarian.
I know, they're like, what's a libertarian? How do you spell that?
Hey,
hon, how do you spell libertarian?
All right, so...
yeah, check it out and learn what it is, and then tell us what it is next week.
There is something that you talked about on the Facebook page, Real Shoot Wrestling, about the Montreal Screwjob.
Oh, yeah?
Being... Your theories on it.
I'm team... It's not a shoot.
Okay, well, I am team it is a shoot.
I know. Why would you think it's a shoot?
Why would you think it's a work?
Why would there be cameras and catch everything like that? What else is ever caught like that on camera?
They were filming,
there's a documentary about it.
They were filming that over the course of a year. They just happened to be there.
Oh, they just happened to be there. They filmed it. Are you listening to what you're saying?
No.
They filmed it for a year and they just happened to be there when this happened?
There's other things.
And they just happened to have Brett going to WCW making $9 million, which is way more than anything Vince could ever do. So Vince sends people down there to bankrupt them and get $9 million from them. You got Vince that has to be hated from the crowd for Stone Cold to work with Vince.
Okay, so why did Vince sue that company to try to stop the documentary from coming out?
Because why wouldn't you?
Right, because
because
it was a shoot.
Did it actually happen?
No, because he ended up dropping it.
Oh, that's crazy that he ended up dropping it.
Well, because he knew he couldn't win.
Because it was part of the plan.
No, there's no way that he would willingly leave everybody that he knows, Owen and Bulldog and all those guys in WCW or WWE to go to WCW. There's no way he would do that for any amount of money.
He was leaving in general. It says that.
I know that, but he wouldn't have done that if that was all just a plan for Vince to send him down there to sabotage it.
Yes, it was. He's Vince's boy, and he's been Vince's boy forever. Why would he not?
I think it's crazy to even think that, especially since
You act. It's like a fifth column. You destroy it from the inside. So you send those guys down there to destroy it. Do you think that it was a plan? Wasn't a plan
do you
to
think
send?
he sent Hall and Nash?
Yes.
There too? Really?
Yeah. He destroyed it.
Even-
They took. And listen to what every single one of them says. Every single one that went from WWE went to WCW because of guaranteed contracts, guaranteed money, and they got as much out of them every single time. Do you know that it was in Kevin Nash's contract that no matter who you bring in and how much they cost, he gets paid more than that person? Yeah. So when they brought in Dennis Rodman and gave him millions and millions of dollars, Kevin Nash got paid millions and millions of dollars, plus at least $1 more than Rodman. The same with Karl Malone, the same with Jay Leno, the same with anybody they brought in.
But, I mean, Brett even talked about how miserable he knew he would be even going into that, and he ended up
And he still did it anyway, but he still got $9 million.
Well, he did it because he got screwed over.
I mean, that's if you want to believe that.
I do.
Okay, then. I mean, and that's fine. But I mean, there's facts. What fact do you have?
I told you they tried suing them to stop the documentary from coming out.
Okay, let me explain something to you. And I'm not going to name any names here because they're local, but there is a local 2 wrestling promoters that knew the payoff if you go on TV and do People's Court.
Okay.
You get paid so much for doing it.
This wasn't People's Court though. This was
No, but it's a wrestling business and you do what's best, and whatever you got to do to get the story across at that time to make it seem as real as possible, you're going to do it. Those 2 guys that are local sued each other. One of them won, but both got a payoff.
Okay, but that's not the same thing.
It's the same thing, that you're going to do whatever you got to do to make the most amount of money and to beat your other opponent. At that time, Vince was going to lose it all.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's why I think he screwed him over, because he risked it that much.
No, what did he risk? What did he risk if it's all shoot? There is no risk, and it all makes sense.
Well, he risked the whole locker room rebelling against him, because I mean, Mick Foley, he left for a day
and came back.
Well, yeah, because he realized he was going to be a breach of his contract.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, well, I guess that is a debate that can just go on and on, but
exactly, and we're still debating about it today. So that's what I'm saying. If it's between the people that knew what was going on,
mm-hmm.
You might have a Mick just walk off. You might have this person just leave. Because if they're not involved and they don't know, who knows? But just, he came back. Really? He came back? Of course he came back. And I'm sorry, but that doesn't happen, and then you come back.
Mm-hmm.
Brett came back. He got a match at Mania. It was god-awful, but he got a match at Mania over the situation. He was just on TV last month.
I know.
But supposedly, he punched him in the face. Vince wouldn't bring Warrior back forever because of money issues. And you think that Brett just came back after he punched Vince in the face?
There's a big difference between Vince. Vince felt sorry for Brett. He didn't feel sorry for Warrior.
No, I mean, that doesn't.
Plus,
make any sense.
Brett had family in the company.
Who?
He had Tyson Kidd and Natty Neidhart.
What does that? I mean, what does that mean? Well, I mean, what does that do?
That's kind of how the ball started rolling, right? Getting them back in the company.
No, they were. I mean, there was no stopping them from getting in the company in the first place.
I mean, Brett getting back in the company. That's what's got the ball on from him to start coming back.
No, he just came back. Remember, it was just a big return. He didn't come back for anything to do with them.
Things right, but
it was a big Monday night thing, and the reason why they did it was because that was the big night that TNA was doing a big Monday night thing.
That's right.
So Brett was just we need to beat TNA tonight just to prove a point.
That's really weird to think about when you look back on it, but that did happen that night.
I mean, that's the night Jeff Hardy appeared in that weird red cage thing, and which I didn't mind the look of it for it being a
looked like
six-sided.
a greenhouse.
It would have been way cooler being a greenhouse.
All right, so you were trying to tell me about this Jim Ross. He has a fight app. Why don't you tell everybody?
Yeah, there's an app called Fight, FITE. Jim Ross has some type of inner working with it, whether it's like he owns it or he bought into it or he's just like a spokesman for it, whatever. But like I said, he's the reason why I checked it out in the first place, because it's good old JR. It's pretty much a app for anything like martial arts, any type of mixed martial arts,
wrestling,
pro wrestling, boxing. But the thing is they even have sumo wrestling on there.
Wow.
Like it's everything that is a physical type of entertainment, pretty much. And some of the stuff on there is free. Like you can watch some CMLL, which is out of Mexico. Right. That's where Jericho was when he became Lionheart.
Right.
Way before he even came into ECW or WCW. He was down there, and that was a big company. It's got AAA stuff. It's got all the awesome indie stuff. It's got like Hollywood Championship Wrestling, like the smaller indie stuff. It's even got NWA Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which one of our own, Jason Kincaid, is a part of, which congratulations to Jason Kincaid, because he's got 2 matches coming up for Ring of Honor.
Cool.
One with Mark Briscoe and one where he's in a 6-man tag. And he's teaming, I forget exactly who he's teaming with, but I know Roderick Strong is one of them. So be on the lookout for that in Ring of Honor and Jason Kincaid.
You said that there's pay-per-view deals.
There's pay-per-view deals on there. You can go on there, and if your TV has Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, the app sets it up as a type of Apple TV, Google Chrome kind of thing, and you can send what you're watching on your phone to your TV. But you could get Ring of Honor pay-per-view live. You can get Evolve, which is having the Cruiserweight Classic preliminary matches right now. Even the flyer has that logo on it. You can watch that. Those things cost money. There's also a lot of free stuff too. There's also a really cool wrestling documentary about George South. If you don't know George South, you should check it out, because he's good. He's probably the best jobber of all time. And he was one of those guys that he was a jobber. He knew how to work, and he was the guy that everybody wanted whenever they did TV, and he was working in that company. They always wanted him to work with because he made them look good on television. So.
That's awesome. So guys, check that out. The Fight app, FITE.
It's red.
It's red?
And it just says Fight. That's,
all right.
That's it.
Okay, check that out. Check us out on Twitter, RSW Podcast.
And the same for Instagram.
Go to our Facebook page, Real Shoot Wrestling. They've had some weird quiz up. There's an app called Quiz Up, and they've had this massive trivia battle. If you're into wrestling trivia, go to our Facebook page and join this massive trivia. They're going to have monthly tournaments. It's going to be exciting. So
I guess, for some.
I mean, some people are into
Some
that.
people are digging it and loving it.
Yeah, you guys are doing good representing us.
Representing and putting, the Real Shoot Wrestling in your name. That's awesome. We appreciate it, but me, it's like, I know there's a lot of smart people on there, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's still a timing thing.
Like,
and
what was King Kong Bundy's weight built at WrestleMania 2?
Yeah, it's like, sometimes it's like, what? But it's also a situation to where it's built off of as much as you play. So, it's kind of, congratulations, but
Yeah. But if you're into wrestling trivia, check that out on our Facebook page. Match of the week. I'm going back to 1997 for this. Because this past week was the anniversary of Owen Hart's death.
Passing, yes.
Yes. So this was from Raw 199 on March 3rd, 1997. It was the finals for the European title. It was Owen versus Bulldog.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was a really good match. It was I think it was in Germany. So yeah, go check that out.
Was it One Night Stand?
No, this was Raw number 199.
They did a Raw in Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been way back in the day.
Yeah, 1997.
My match of the week is actually from last night. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
First of all, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens main evented Raw.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Second of all, it was a good match.
Yeah.
And the fact that Kevin won clean, to me, is awesome. To some, the fat guy buried AJ, and it's just like, come on, dude.
AJ just got put through 5 tables.
Yeah, just last night. And plus, he says he can't do it without Bullet Club. Well, the club, and then he goes and loses without the club. So, it's a way to work off of a story as well.
He didn't wear black and white last night.
No, he didn't wear his black and white. He only wore it once when he teamed with him.
Okay, well
and the night that he was it was like, hey.
Yeah.
Bullet Club might get together tonight, and it didn't happen, which I thought was funny.
Good match. Wrestler of the week. Might be a little out of the box, but I'm going Xavier Woods because they let him wrestle Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
Right after he made that killer promo about shooting his shot. And he did really good. I mean, people don't realize he's a really good worker.
He's awesome, and a lot of people don't realize that he came from TNA.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show TNA has good wrestling, just horrible storytellers.
Yeah, so I was glad that they gave him a chance to work.
Yeah, he's always been able to work in my eye. I've always liked him.
Yeah.
He just have been the gimmicks have kind of been over the top.
Yeah.
For some people, I mean,
he's in the perfect
I think
role.
we all remember when he first arrived and. He flipped his fro back and it looked like Triple H spit up in the air. Just let your soul glow.
Okay.
That's what that shit reminds me of.
All right.
Yes. Do you even know what that is?
No.
From Coming to America?
Never seen it.
I'm sorry, what? All right, moving on.
All right, your wrestler of the week.
My wrestler of the week, the Mac, Willie Mac, from Lucha Underground. That's what he's mainly known for right now because of, Lucha Underground kind of getting the publicity that it gets. But I remember him from PWG. That's where I got my first taste of Willie Mack. And he's another one of those guys for me. He's a big guy, but he can move. He's not a big muscular guy. He's a bigger guy.
They've got a lot of big guys on there. Matanza.
But he can go. And and it's awesome. So.
Yeah, I really love this Matanza character. I mean, the champ, Matanza Cueta.
The Slipknot looking guy?
The Brock Lesnar.
Why?
In a mask. Because he's got a great moveset and he came out of nowhere. I thought it was... I really like the way... Have you seen some of the matches that he's in?
Yeah.
I know you didn't dig the casket match, but
I've never been into casket matches. I
thought they did.
I've never been into those. I've never been into the what was it? The Catch You on Fire match.
Inferno.
The Inferno match. Any of those ridiculous matches. If I put you in a casket and roll you off, I should never see you again.
What was the match that you dug a couple weeks ago from Sexy Star? That brutal match?
The hardcore match.
Yeah, was it an I Quit match? I think it was. Against...
Yeah, because she made her quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she quit. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, let alone it being a good hardcore match, it was a good women's match.
Right.
And it was a good women's hardcore match. that very seldomly happens. Like over in Japan, they have a lot of women hardcore matches, and of course, there's some not local, but indie tournaments for women that are hardcore related. But I just think that's goofy. It's just a football bat. It doesn't make any sense.
Guys, if you haven't checked out Lucha Underground, you got to do it. You can probably find it on the internet somewhere.
Well, the easiest way for me, it's usually like the day after, but watchwrestling.to is always up to date with their Lucha and always up to date with their WWE and more or less NXT, but you could still watch some other stuff. There's some PWG, Evolve.
They're
there's some
still
other
working
stuff
on getting a deal with like Netflix or Hulu, so...
Yeah,
it may be more accessible soon.
And they've recorded the third season, so there's some cool guys that are going to be in the third season coming up. But
Solomon Crow.
Well, yeah, I've always liked Sammy Callahan, which is Solomon Crow.
Right.
But I've always liked Sammy Callahan, and he's winning belts right now, which is awesome.
There's a couple other guys. You remember Justin Gabriel? He's in there.
The Darewolf.
You know who I think will be good with Lucha Underground is Adam Rose. I think he could fit in there somehow.
Yeah. I honestly think he would be good. He would be good Adam Rose, or he would be good Leo Kruger.
I think he'd be better with Leo, but...
I mean, he wouldn't use those names. He wouldn't be allowed to use those names. But yeah, I honestly think he would be good in Lucha Underground. I think a Sandow, being the genius, would be good in a Lucha Underground.
Yeah, he's doing a couple shows.
Because it's like they have Johnny being the movie star American, and they have Cage being the he's just a big monster. Which I think honestly they should let Cage do on Lucha Underground what he's doing with AAA right now, which is the whole Trump story, and he's a heel.
I didn't know that.
You don't know about this? I knew he was doing it, but I didn't know who the feud was with and how long it had been going. But he's been wearing a Trump shirt to the ring. He's been all about Trump.
AAA is in Mexico, folks.
AAA is a Mexico company, and that is pretty much where, that's where...
Del Rio and...
That's where Del Rio, that's where Sin Cara, that's where Eddie Guerrero, that's where... Kalisto, that's where Rey Mysterio started when he was like 16. That's where the guys that are big in Mexico and have a mask on have pretty much came from. So, and in fact, that's where Rich Rodriguez... Alberto Del Rio's old...
Ricardo.
Well, he goes by Rich.
Not the old West Virginia football coach.
He goes by... well, I didn't know. But that's what he goes by now. He doesn't go by Ricardo.
Okay.
I don't think he can.
Does he go by Ricky?
No, I don't know.
Really Rich?
It's probably like a Richard or something.
Oh.
But...
That's too bad.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, and like I said, that's also on that Fight app. So
okay,
yeah, if you ever want to check out anything else, I mean, the app's just on your phone. You can check it out on your phone, which I mean, you can check it out online and explore your mind in the world of pro wrestling. But that's up to you if you want to do it or not.
Before we sign off, is there any local shows coming up?
I talked last week about Remix Pro Wrestling, and literally after we were done taping the show, when I was on my way home, they announced that they did get Damian Sandow.
Cool.
He will be at Remix Pro Wrestling October 1st, so that'll be killer. So make sure.
And where's that
at? Marietta, Ohio.
Okay.
And it's already sold out ringside, so if you want to go to that, make sure you check out their Facebook, Remix Pro Wrestling, and pick up your tickets now, because that usually sells out pretty quickly. If
you guys were wanting to support Sandow, this is the time to do it.
Oh yeah, because he's going to have everything. Locally. He'll have pretty much shirts. He'll sign. Yeah. He'll get pictures. He'll talk to you, such and such. I was just trying to see if there was anything that we've forgotten over the week that's happened, because I feel like there's times where we forget things.
Well, I'm not Damien Sandow, so I can't remember everything. But
You should remember everything. But yeah, so.
But okay, that should cover about all of it, I think.
I mean, pretty much the world in wrestling this week has been covered.
Yeah, it's been an eventful weekend for sure, with all the quittings and all the shows.
Well, I mean, what about? Here's one thing that we haven't talked about, and a lot of people might not know, but Pop, the channel Pop, turned in their summer shows, and TNA's not on it.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going on there?
There's been a couple conflicting reports, but yeah, that's.
It sucks that TNA has good wrestling right now, but they don't have a place to put it, and there's horrible storytellers.
I don't know why they just don't try to make a deal with Hulu or somebody. Honestly.
I mean, nowadays wrestling is viewed in such a different way than it used to be. Like, there's so many ways to watch it. And in people's mind, there's so much
more people have Hulu than Pop.
Quote unquote crap that they don't want to watch anymore during it. Yeah. That they just don't watch it and then watch it later and skip through what they want. So there needs to be another way that they account for their wrestling and can make the money off of it. But yeah, they need to get through a Hulu or
even Netflix.
A Netflix. I mean, there's so much going on with Netflix because Netflix has WWE stuff on it.
They used to. I don't know if they do anymore.
I still think it has a couple things here and there.
Okay.
Also, the guy that directed, I think, Breaking Bad and Orange is the New Black or whatever.
Yeah. Wants to do a women's wrestling show.
Is doing a mini-series on Glow, a woman's wrestling league that was in the 80s. So that'll be cool if it actually goes through.
And speaking of Netflix, the Jake Roberts documentary is coming next month.
Yeah,
to Netflix,
which I'm very excited to watch.
Have you watched it?
No, I've seen like the previews and stuff, but I still want to really watch it. There's also a couple other documentaries that are awesome that I wish would come to like the forefront, kind of like that, like the one that Eddie Richards. Hold on, not Eddie Richards, Davey Richardson.
Oh, okay.
Davey Richards, sorry, did for Dynamite Kid. Which I haven't got to see that one yet. I really want to see it because I'm a huge Dynamite fan. There's the one that for the ROH fans, the Nigel did for his, which is really cool because a couple of Real Shoot Wrestling's guys were in it. Actually, in fact, TJ Phillips was his last match. Has been his last match, and it happened in Clarksburg.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nigel McGuinness's last match was against TJ Phillips. TJ Phillips beat him in Clarksburg.
Wow.
He sold shirts for his last run, and it says Clarksburg on it. If you watch the documentary, it's a part of the documentary, so it's crazy. So. There's some really good documentaries out there about wrestlers. And the Sheik one is on Netflix which is absolutely hilarious. So there's definitely stuff out there on all formats that you could check out if you have nothing better to do and you've already listened to our podcast, of course.
Don't want to hear the locust outside.
Yeah, also, guys, go to our iTunes and review the stuff. Send us a screenshot either, on Instagram, on Facebook or on Twitter, and we'll shout out your name and put it up in bright lights.
Yes.
Of Real Shoot Wrestling.
Give us a nice review, subscribe to us, let us know. We'll definitely shout your name out on the next show. Definitely. And there is some really cool stuff in the works for Real Shoot Wrestling, but I'm not the kind of person that to spread that news until it actually happens. But there's going to be some really cool things going on that will allow you guys to be more interactive with Real Shoot Wrestling. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next time. Deuces.
Deuces.